Shavua Tov, this is Rabbi Kovacs, and Mishnah Yomi today is starting the 5th chapter of Gittin, Perek HaNizokin. So HaNizokin, those who become damaged, Shomin Lehem, we assess the damage payment they receive, Ba'idit, with the highest quality land. So if Reuven injured Shimon, or Reuven through negligence allowed Shimon to become injured, Reuven has to pay for the damages, as we're going to see all about in Masechet Bava Kama. But how do we assess that damages with Idit, with the best quality land? Now, the Torah itself says in Shemot chapter 22, Meitav Sedehu, he pays from the best of his field. But on this biblical level, it would suffice to be the best land of the injured, the Nizak, the injured party, even if the Mazik, the injurer, or the negligent party, has much superior fields and orchards, etc. Now, when we say superior here, the cash value is actually equal, but when we say superior quality Edith land, it means it's more fruitful and multiplying. You can get more yield from the same area. So the benefit to having Edith and being paid compensation with Edith is you can do a little bit less work on that land and get the same result, the same crop. So the Bartner explains from the Gemara, the Chiddush here is we say it's the Edit also of the Mazik. And this can have a deterrent effect because if somebody, might be negligent, forget to shut the barn door with his wild ox inside, as one of the cases in Bava Kama that we'll see later. If he's thinking, I might lose my very best vineyard if I have to pay compensation, he's more likely to refrain from being negligent or simply refrain from damaging other people. Now back in the Mishnah, the second case, Bal Chov, the creditor, one who's owed money to, Bebenonit, he's paid with middle quality land. Now obviously the lender could pay cash or pay straw or pay anything that's worth value to pay off his loan, but if he doesn't have cash available on hand, he can pay with land. That would be middle quality land. So if he has better land and worse land, he pays from the middle stuff. And the Bartner points out, the Gemara explains that really, biblically, you could pay them from Zibori to the lowest quality land, but we upgrade creditors to Benonit, so people are more likely to give loans and give lines of credit because they know they'll be paid back with land that's, efficiently usable. Ketuvat Isha beziborit, and the ketuva of the wife or ex-wife or widow could be paid with ziborit, with lower quality land that's less, it needs more work or it needs more space for the same yield. Rabbi Meir Omer disagrees. Off ketuvat Isha bebenonit, even the ketuva is paid with middle quality land. So if Reuven has 3 fields, an Edit, a Benonit, and a Ziborit, a very productive, a medium, and a less productive land, he would pay from the middle quality. We mentioned back in Ketuvot that back then they would always collect a Ketuva from land, from solid assets that can't be moved, but later the lien of a Ketuva extended even to the shirt off his back. That's the actual wording. So any asset of the husband is under the obligation to pay the Ketuva should that obligation arise. Now, Mishnah Beit elaborates the case of the loan and the creditor. We do not allow a creditor to collect his payments from assets that were sold. In a place where he has assets that are unencumbered, that have not been sold. Va'afilu hen ziborit, even if the free assets are ziborit, are lower quality land. Now what's going on here is Reuven borrowed money from Shimon, and Reuven at the time of the loan had 2 fields. One was higher quality and one was Ziborit, was lower quality. Now before the loan was due, he sold the higher quality field to somebody else, and now when Shimon comes to collect the loan from Reuven, Reuven has no cash or straw to pay with, so he has to pay with land. Now any land he sold is under a lien to the loan that he had already taken out and was obligated to pay. But because he sold it to a third party and he has free, unencumbered land remaining in his own personal possession, the creditor has to go after Reuven's unencumbered Bnei Chorin land first before he seizes payment from the other land. Finally, we don't allow collection from the assets of orphans, assets they've inherited from the father, Eila min Ziborit, only from the lower quality fields. Now, this is even if the person claiming payment from the orphans had been, for instance, wounded or damaged by the father before the father passed away. He should be entitled to idit, to the best, but because the orphans are not always familiar with the financial dealings and liabilities of the father and his estate, so we enacted that he should only get paid out of their ziborit. Yishar kochachem, Shavuot Tov.